Hey guys, this is Card Trick Dude 1 and the comeback of the century. I'm about to show you a card trick done by none other than Ricky J in a video that's been circulating a lot on Reddit and a few different places online. It is his card control. I'll be showing you the methods he uses to find the 4 aces in the beginning and end of that video, and also post a link to his performance, so you should probably watch that before you look at the tutorial if you want to get an idea of what the effect will look like. Okay, so you see you can you can shuffle the cards before you begin the trick. There's only a little bit of preparation. You have to put the 4 aces on top of the deck. So we can go through, pick out the 4 aces. There they are. Thank you to my cameraman Sam for helping me out and convincing me to put another video on the channel. The preparation is these 4 aces in no particular order on top of the deck. When you're shuffling, all you have to do is keep these top 4 cards on the top. So if you're going to slide off a packet and do a tabled riffle shuffle, just make sure when you shuffle, you leave 4 cards on top, and then they'll retain their position, and the audience will think that you're properly shuffling the cards. You can always throw in a fake cut if you want to. Once again, the 4 aces are still on top. Now, for the trick proper, he begins with a little bit of a flourish. After shuffling the cards a little, or I don't think he shuffles, but he does a quick method of finding the aces, even though they're on top. So the first is, you hold the deck in the mechanic's grip, like this. Then you're going to curl your index finger. You can see, Sam, can they see this?
Yes.
Okay, you're going to take your index finger and curl it underneath the deck, like so. And then practice having enough security to riffle through the deck. Okay? You're going to riffle through the deck to any part. Then come over here with your right hand, use your index finger to swivel off a portion of these cards. Okay? Now this is the top packet, but because you riffle through and cut quickly, people are going to think this is the bottom packet that you cut out of. Then you're just going to slide the top card off and extend it with your fingers to place it there. That's the first ace. Then you come back with this bottom packet, which is what they think is the top packet. Place it here very closely while still maintaining a break. It's hard to see, but you can see that I'm maintaining a thumb break just for a second. And then you pick it back up again without having it changed any of the cards and place it on the side, and you can slide off another ace right there. Then you're going to do a triple swivel cut right here. Take about a third of these packets with your index finger, move them upwards, slide them into this hand, pick up another, or a half of the remaining packet, put it here but hold a little break between the two. Then, remember this bottom packet right here is where the 4 aces are. Then you can just plop these over here, those 2 packets. Then if third ace appears, place the bottom packet here and pull the top card off, and there's the 4th ace. It'll take a little bit of practicing, but that's just a quick flourish. To speed, it looks like this. A little mess up, but hey. Okay, so those are the 4 aces. Now, what you do, this trick is a little mathy, so be careful, but it's not too hard to master. Or it's hard to master, but it's not too hard to at least learn how to do. So, what you're going to do is make the cards into 4 roughly even piles. It's important that they're equal within maybe 2 cards, but they don't have to be exactly 12 cards each. So, you can place the 4 aces out like this, and then take each packet, and here's where the math comes in. The first packet, you're going to place the 8th in the 6th position, which means you're going to count here. Can you see this, Sam? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then place the ace in right after the 6th card. Then you're going to count how many cards are here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6, okay? Now, this is a little confusing, but just bear with me here. You take 12, just remember 12 is the magic number for this trick, and then you subtract however many cards were on the right side of the ace, in this case 6. 12 minus 6 is 6. Now, take the second packet. Since 12 minus 6 is 6, you're going to place the ace of spades in the 6th position again. So watch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It'll go right after the 7 of hearts. And count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 this time. We weren't exactly perfect. We'll do the same thing. 12, the magic number, subtract it by this amount of cards, 7. 12 minus 7 is 5. So the next card will go in the 5th position. This is a smaller packet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Place the ace in right here. And then on this side we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once again, 12 minus 5 is 7. So this will go in the 7th position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then you don't need to worry about these cards here because this is the last packet. Okay, now you can show the audience that all of these aces are actually in the middle of the deck. Once you get good at this, you'll be able to do that math quickly, and it'll look kind of like you aren't maybe memorizing the positions of cards, but that's what you're doing. So now you can tell them the cards are out of my control for this moment. How do I get them back into my control? Well, I'll be honest with you, I do it by shuffling. How do I shuffle? This is a complex issue. He talks about this a lot in his video. But basically, you're going to shuffle the cards a little bit and control all of the aces to the top of the deck. This is the Dai Vernon aces control that he utilizes. So we know, because we placed the first ace in 6 cards, that was the first thing we did, the preliminary thing, that the first ace is 6 cards down, which means when Ricky J talks about doing the Miami Gin shuffle, he's actually taking off 6 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, I did 2 there, 5, 6, and then just puts those on the bottom. The top card is now the ace of diamonds. He's controlled it to the top when you didn't even think he was doing anything. Next, you're going to cut exactly halfway through, or around halfway through the deck to the second ace. This takes a little bit of practice, but as long as you figure out how to roughly cut, you can kind of see where the ace is. And then pull it off into a packet so that there's an ace on top of this packet and an ace on top of this packet, and do what's called the Pharaoh shuffle. F-A-R-O. I'll post a tutorial for it. It doesn't have to be exact, and these cards are rather hard for doing it. But what you're going to do is basically, Sam, if you can get kind of a close-up of what's happening here, is mesh these cards together so that the top ace from this packet, the one that's on top right now, and the top ace from this packet are now next to each other. And when you slide it in, I'll post a tutorial again for the Pharaoh Shuffle. Now you have 2 aces on top, and if you did the Pharaoh Shuffle relatively correctly, the 2 aces should be next to each other in the center of the deck. That's just a little mathematical thing that works. Okay, next. You're going to roughly cut to where these 2 aces are, making sure that the 2 aces get put on this other packet. Okay, so you're basically doing the same thing you did with the Pharaoh Shuffle, but now there are 2 aces next to each other. So now this packet has 2 aces on them, this packet has 2 aces on them. Now you're just going to do a riffle shuffle. I'll post a tutorial for that, a tabled riffle shuffle, and make sure you intertwine those last 2 cards from each pile. And now, when you push them together, voila, you've done the trick. The 4 aces are now on top. But he doesn't just show that for you. He adds his own little trick he likes to call triumph. He talks about taking half the cards, turning them over, doing some Alaskan poker. That's basically where you shuffle face-up cards into face-down cards. Now, this is where you have to employ a method called a fake shuffle called the zero shuffle. What you're going to do is this is a fake shuffle. He's very good at it, so it seems real, but it's absolutely fake. You intertwine the cards at this level, okay? Very thin, a very thin kind of intertwining. You don't want them actually going into each other too much. Make sure to hold these 4 cards above the last one, okay? You want to make sure that it goes a face-up card and then the 4 aces on top here. And then you're going to slide the face-up packet and push it right underneath these 4 aces. I'll post a tutorial for the Zaro Shuffle. It's a bit hard to do, but if you look at the cards, now we have a random packet of face-up cards, the 4 aces here, okay? Then, what Ricky J does is a little bit of a false cut, whatever. You can do any kind of false cut you want. And then, if you have cards, the tally hos don't really work for this, but if you have cards that you've been using a lot, they'll create a natural dimple in them where the face-up cards meet the face-down cards. So, it's right here. if you so this will probably work better with your deck if you've really been using it, but basically there's a face up or a back facing a back, and right what you're gonna do is lift that up, show it, and then turn it around, right? So it goes like this, turn it around, and then place it back the other way. Now the aces have transported to the middle of the deck. I threw in a little small mistake there on accident, but the idea is there. The 4 aces are in the center of the deck. There you go. You can stop watching this video now if that's all you wanted to learn. That's how he does the trick. I'll briefly discuss a method he employs at the end. Sam, why don't you take a break in the recording for now? Welcome back. We're going to briefly discuss what happens at the end of the video. Basically, when he's been talking a lot about gin and blackjack, and what he's really been doing is keeping the aces in the same position on the top of the deck. So, there are many different ways you can get the aces to the top of the deck. Maybe I'll post a link to a couple of card controls you can use. But assume for a minute that you have the aces on top of the deck and the audience thinks that they're scattered. Here's what Ricky J does to make you think that he's actually like a genius card shark. He's not a genius card shark. I mean, he is, but not in the way that he wants you to think. He's not actually cutting to a deck and pulling out an ace. That's impossible. What he's doing is, this is a slip cut. Basically, he pulls off this bottom half of the deck, right? And then he also slides a card off the top, right? Along with it, with his index finger, and pulls it away, and then reveals it. It's one of the aces. And then he goes like this. Okay, so now he's found one of them. It's called the slip cut. You pull off a bottom half. Makes it look like you're pulling something from the bottom. You're not. Okay, wait, I just put the ace there. Yeah, so that's the first ace. The second ace, he does something called the bonsai cut, which is very, very similar in nature. You do the same thing, the slip cut, pull off a bottom half, as well as getting this top card, and then just shoot it out. Okay? I'll post a tutorial for that. It takes a little bit of practice, but just shoot out the ace. And there's the ace of spades. Again, he does the same kind of method, this time doing it like a little differently, where he does something funny like that. But the methods that he's employing are really just like different ways to pull a card off of the top and make it look neat. So there we go. That's Card Control by Ricky J. I hope you learned something, and have a good day.